All right, I want you to imagine something with me. You're getting ready to start your day and you've got your coffee in hand. You're excited because it's a blue sky outside, the birds are chirping. You're just ready to really get stuff done, move some projects forward, make progress, and you're excited. Unfortunately, not that you knew this, but maybe you should because it happens every day. There's someone, or more accurately, something that is lurking, maybe under your table, maybe he's watching from behind your curtains or around the corner, but he's watching and he's waiting for the opportune moment. So you sit down, you've got your coffee, you open up your computer, and then he attacks. This 7-foot tall, hairy beast, man-looking beast, attacks out of nowhere. And what do? You are about to get everything done for the day, go and conquer, and instead of fighting back, instead of pushing him out the door and locking it behind him, you snuggle with him, you cuddle up next to him. He hasn't brushed his teeth in a really long time. He's a wild animal. You can't trust him. And yet you're snuggling there, just giving him snacks and letting him sit on your lap as you try to get your work done. The only problem is that he is incessant for attention and your focus. He just won't let you work. So you try both, you're trying to get stuff done, but it doesn't really happen, and you're trying to give him attention and make sure that he feels cared for. But in the end, you get through most of your day stressed, exhausted, and really just disappointed because if you got anything done, it wasn't nearly what you thought it would be or were excited to be. How often does this play out for us every single day? This Tasksquatch creature, or as I like to call him, Tasksquatch, is ready to strike and is incessant for our attention, our focus, and our energy. What is Tasksquatch? Tasksquatch is your distractions throughout the day, most notably your notifications on your computer, especially if you work from home. Your email ribbons that slide over in front of everything you're trying to do, clearly vying for your attention. What about all those flashing orange apps at the bottom of your screen or the red badges flashing at you? Clearly those things belong on top of an emergency vehicle and not your computer all day long. All right, welcome to the Time Smith podcast. I'm excited that you are here, and it's the beginning of 2023. So hopefully you are starting to take control of your life again. And the thing that we're all wanting, and I mean, it's a huge part of our life. What do we get done? What do we accomplish in our lives? What do we get done each day? And how do we do that with tons of stress and chaos? Or do we want to take control and make it happen for us? So that's why you're here. That's why I'm here. And I'm excited. So before we get started, I just want to mention a free gift I have for you. It's a 2-page guide for my power routine. It's going to help you use a daily routine to get through the things that are most important to you, to get clear. All right, so did you know that every single distraction, research shows, costs us 23.5 minutes of our time? So if you add that up, obviously that's probably for most of us more than 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We are constantly distracted and we can't get to our things. Another interesting piece of research showed that after 20 minutes of distracted work, you might go faster, but your stress exponentially increases after 20 minutes of interrupted work. We've all felt this. How long does it take before we feel stressed and overwhelmed? If you're honest with yourself, it might even just be 20 minutes or less, just starting your day out because you wanted to get to these things, but all these interruptions and distractions are coming to you. So what do we do about all of this? Do we just push harder, push harder, push harder? I don't think we have to. So stress drains our energy instead of building it. So think about a good workout. If you do a good workout, which I've just finally started working out, you have this awesome feeling at the end. Yeah, you've used some of that energy from your body to work out, but after the fact, you feel like this runner's high or this excitement and this sharpness about you, and you actually gain energy back because mitochondria produces more than you need, and then you have extra energy, and it's awesome. But that's the idea. A good work day should build you up so that at the end of it, you feel great. You don't feel like the stress that just tears us down, and by the end, we're just broken and overwhelmed. And there really is a better way. So listen, and I'm going to tell you more. You should have that every day. And the idea is here, you cannot play nice with Tasksquatch. You cannot play nice with your notifications. You can't appease him. You have to fight him out of your room. You have to fight him out of your house, and you have to lock the door behind you. I was telling my kids about Tasksquatch yesterday, and I was like telling them the story about how I'm sitting down for coffee, and all of a sudden Tasksquatch comes and attacks. And they're like, Dad, just go inside. Drink your coffee inside. Why would you go outside and drink your coffee where Tasksquatch is lurking? It's similar. Why don't we put up walls? Why don't we lock him out? We have to fight. We have to get him out. Okay, so the second part of all of this is that this is true with, owning pets, with parenting, with life, with all distractions. It's harder to say no than it is yes, right? So think about this. Why do some people I know, let their pets sleep every night in between them and their spouse? Okay, that's just because they didn't say no to their dog. After a little bit, they got up on the bed, and then they got in closer, and then they're just pushing them off their own bed. And they do it every night, and they kind of laugh about it. Or a lot of us, disciplining our kids is like this. When you discipline in love, it's really hard, but it helps them to grow and to be free. A lot of us, we call it the hustle, and we call it the grind. And we say, oh, we're still busy. Oh, we just work. And it's just self-sacrifice and such a hard worker. And I'm here to tell you that you could be doing more in 2 hours a day of control and getting back to people in a way that gives them results that they're looking for anyways, instead of just this chaos of chasing everything that everybody else is sending you all day long. Why do we get back to notifications right away? Imposter syndrome, sure. If that resonates with you, Google it and journal through that. Get imposter syndrome out of you. Maybe we want to look like we're hard workers, and we think people won't, if we don't get back to notifications right away, people won't think that we're working hard. But the real reason is we assume that people want a quick response. But the reality is people just don't have systems for keeping track of the things they think about. So instead, they just send you things as they think about it. And email and chat is just the easiest way to do that. Do an experiment if you don't believe me. Next time when people email you or chat you, just ask what the time frame is that they need a response by. Just say you want to look into it and have a better answer to them soon. What's the time frame that they like? More often than not, it's definitely not going to be right away. Even if it's at the end of the day or the end of the week or just when you get to it, it's probably the most common one, because other people actually value your time more than you do. Chat and email are not immediate responses. They are 24-hour response time. Our chat and email is gummed up with too many non-emergencies for it to also be the emergency channel. There's just no way to mix them. You can figure this out with some system, maybe use urgent only on chats if that's what you want, or have a ticketing system instead where they can select urgent or something, and then that can notify you. But everything else is 24 hours. And I actually just recommend, for most people, can think through the emergencies, but you do need an emergency line, a lot of us at least, because otherwise we have that in the back of our head, like, what if I'm needed right now? Like, I wouldn't know about it. So you need an emergency route, but the communication channel for that should not be email and chat, because those have non-emergency stuff all the time. And that might even be new information for you, that chat is not an emergency line. It's not. It's just communication, and it's the easiest way to do it. It's not emergencies. What you should do for emergencies is your cell phone, and just give your number, and I'll talk about it in a second, but your cell phone, someone calling your cell phone, that is the emergency. And you only give that out to the right people. So here are the steps. Step number 1, tell your boss that you've listened to some time management stuff and you think that you would get more done and be less stressed if you were able to just step back from the notifications that were constantly on your screen and get your tasks done and then check stuff. They are going to love that. They are for you doing it. If your boss is worth his salt, he'll tell you, awesome, keep doing it, and he'll fight for you if any issues come up, or she'll fight for you if any issues come up. And then you give them your number and you say, call me if you need anything. Plead with them. Say, please, please, please call me. Do not hesitate to call me if you need me immediately. That's going to put you at ease. That's going to put them at ease, and everything's going to be good from there. Give your boss your cell phone number is step 2. Step 3 is just to turn off your notifications. So it's that simple. Google it, figure it out. I had to literally mute every single chat in my Teams because no matter what I did, closing out of Teams, nothing worked initially. I think it might be better now, but it would still blink and pop up and all this stuff unless I muted every single channel, every single chat. Excuse me. So do whatever you have to. There should be 0 badges. There should be like notification little red dots on your apps. Do not have slide over email notifications. Do not let orange close out of stuff when you're not in it, so that there's not orange blinking lights and things on your screen. You don't need to see any of that because you have a number of people can reach you at, and you've given it to the people that would need you in an emergency, i.e. your boss or other people. Most, like in my situation, people are gonna reach out to my boss if they need me, so he can get to me by my phone. So turn off everything, mute everything. Do not have no mercy. All right, once you turn off notifications, give yourself an hour or so before you check them. Get through a whole task on your list. Don't check any email, don't check notifications, don't check chat. And this is where the daily power routine, the daily routine comes in place, because you might actually want distractions while you're trying to get a task done because you're overwhelmed. So use my daily routine. That gives you the momentum and energy you need to get your task done. But wait until you're done with the task, then check. Ideally, once you realize that you don't need to be checking this stuff as much and you're getting so much time back already, you can decrease it. Ideally, you get through all your email and chat, get that stuff to 0, all red, every morning, and then you check it just maybe 2 more times throughout the day to just make sure that there's nothing urgent. That's all you need to do. That's the ideal. All right, a note for you social media watchers, turn off notifications for that too, and reward yourself. Get through a task and go check social media. I do want you to not be overwhelmed by your email and all that stuff now that you realize that you're kind of on the hook to get back to it, not just be distracted by it and then do nothing with it and kind of let it go and fall through the cracks. So once you do turn off notifications, you're going to want to learn how to get through your email and chat quickly, which I'm going to go over next week in my podcast. So stay tuned to that and subscribe for that so you don't miss it. And after you're able to get through your email and chat really quickly and you're not distracted by notifications all day long, you will have so much free time you won't even know what to do with it. So then I'll teach you after that what to do with your free time and how to get things done and how to create a daily routine that makes it all possible and uses your momentum and energy in the day to get more done in 2 hours than you used to in 8. So stay tuned and subscribe for all of that. If you do want a jump start to all of these things, download my free guide, the free power routine guide. That's going to help you. It's going to give you a preview. It's going to give you a checklist for all of how to get through your email and chat quickly. It's going to give you the power routine that you can start to familiarize yourself with. And part of how to process email and chat is you need a couple lists. So I show you what those are and describe them in more detail. So it's everything that I teach boiled down into 2 pages. And I think it's going to be really helpful for you. All right. that is the end for the podcast. Tasksquatch is real, okay? Do not snuggle with him. You've got to kick him out. You've got to take control. Do not let notifications run your day. You need to put on your adult pants and make this happen. For the full episode, if you're watching on YouTube, download my podcast and listen there. Let's take on Tasksquatch together, because I'm convinced that he's costing our economy billions, if not trillions of dollars, because a lot of us are just distracted by chaos all day long and hustling, pushing, when you could get way more done in less time if you just stopped, looked around, and figured out how to get Tasksquatch out of your life once and for all. All right, that's it. I will see you guys next week. Thank you for listening.